So what is going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about selling final expense life insurance in 2024. If you're looking to start selling life insurance, I'm going to teach you everything step by step on how to get started, how to start selling your life insurance, what company to join with, everything start to finish on how you can sell final expense life insurance in 2024 to start making money. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Peter Roberts. My first year as a life insurance agent, I sold over $500,000 of final expense life insurance over the phone, and now even have an organization like Legacy Family Life, where last month we sold over $400,000 of premiums. So I want to share with you everything that I've learned, how to get started as a new agent, and ultimately how you can succeed as a final expense life insurance agent in 2024. So let's jump into the step number one that you need to first tackle if you're looking to sell final expense life insurance. The first thing that you need is your life insurance license. So let me share with you, if you don't have that, how you can actually get started. Now, the company that you're joining might help you get your license, but if you're starting from scratch, from ground zero, here's how the process works. Well, typically you need to go ahead and prepare for your life insurance license. You're typically going to go get your life and health license. And the way that you do that is you can go to your state Department of Insurance and you can apply for the test. But how to apply for the test, you want to simply prepare by taking a practice exam. So what you can do is you can go to like pre-licensing exams on Google, and then you can find companies like Excel where you can take pre-licensing exams. So they're going to basically be preps. This could range from $100 to $200. And what you're going to do is go through this pre-licensing exam. You're going to study, you're going to take the practice materials, you're going to take the practice text, you're going to go over and over and over. And then when you feel confident inside of that module, there's actually a place where you can actually find a testing center near your location, and you're going to book your in-person exam or computer exam, which is going to allow you to take your test to get your life insurance license. Okay, so it's simple. You go to pre-licensing, Google, click one of those pre-licensing providers. You take the practice exams, you take the practice quizzes, you take the practice material. When you feel confident, you book your in-person or over the computer exam, and then you go in person or take the online exam, and you have to pass a 70 or above. When you pass that 70 or above, you will be approved. You'll get your life insurance license, and then you'll go to like NIPR or Circon, which are two license providers, and you're going to see that you can look up your name, and you're going to be giving what's called an NPN number, which is your national producer number, and then you are going to be on your way to start selling life insurance. The first thing is get that test out of the way, knock the exam out, get licensed. That can take anywhere from 7 to 21 days. If you're being really diligent and quick, you can knock it out really, really fast. And the second step that you need to really just dive into now that you have your license is you need to understand, what are you selling? Specifically, this video is for final expense insurance. So I want to teach you what final expense insurance is, who you sell it to, and ultimately the difference in the types of products. Okay, so final expense insurance, just to be very, very clear, it is basically burial life insurance. So you are going to be speaking to seniors who are between the ages of 50 and 85 who are on very fixed incomes. Okay, they can't even afford a $5,000, a $7,000, $15,000 burial because their circumstances are such. Their family has neglected them, and typically these people are very, very unhealthy as well. They're on Social Security or disability, so they're on very, very fixed incomes. Okay, so you're selling burial insurance. So basically, this means when Miss Betty dies, that her family does not have to start one of those GoFundMe's. They don't have to knock on doors. They don't have to start a fish fry. You are able to be an agent that is going to sell them a product, so when they die, that their family will get this bulk, small $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and it even goes up to $40,000. These are whole life policies that will pay for her burial expenses, so their family is not stuck paying for their funeral arrangements. And one thing that you need to know about the products that you sell is that you are either going to sell simplified issue products or also guaranteed issue products. All the products that you typically sell, it's within a one call close or one sit down with the appointment and close them on the phone. This is why the final expense industry is pretty awesome, is because you don't have to go through extensive underwriting. They don't have to go through extensive urine blood samples, income analysis checks. Like, if they are healthy enough, simplified issue, you can typically sit down with someone, sign up for life insurance, and know right then on the spot and get paid really, really quick as well, because of how the technology has advanced when it comes to underwriting for these simplified issue products. Now, the two types of products you need to understand, is it guaranteed issue or is it simplified or immediate issue? Okay, guaranteed issue policies mean that policies have 2-year waiting periods. Now, this is important for the company that you join, because if you sell people policies that have 2-year waiting waiting periods like guaranteed issue and they're healthy, that means that they have to wait 2 years for their life insurance to even kick into place before they actually pays out. So it's really important that you represent the right products in your journey as a life insurance agent. If you're selling all guaranteed issue, that means if your client dies within 2 years, they're only going to get a refund of their money. They're not going to get the full $10,000. Compared to if you work with companies, which I'll talk about here in a second, that sell simplified issue day one coverage, that means the minute that they make their first payment that they're fully covered. So it's really important that you understand you're working with people who are on fixed incomes, their social security, they're typically unhealthy, they don't have a lot of money, and typically you're going to sell them a policy up to $40,000 of whole life. And these whole life policies will either be day one coverage, meaning that they start with no waiting period, or they will have waiting periods because they're assuming that they're really, really unhealthy and that's all they qualify for as well. Okay. Now that you understand what you're selling, that's really important. Now you got to figure out how to find the company that you want to work with. Now, this is really important in your decision when you're getting into final expense life insurance. Are you going to take what's called the independent route, or are you going to take what's called the captive route? So let me explain the differences for you. These are really important. It also impacts your commission, your lead flow structure, all that fun stuff as well. When you're an independent agent, you're typically going to be an agent who's all on themselves. You're going to be under a structure where you have to be independent in finding your leads. You have to find your marketing. You have to find how to get clients. You have to find out how to sell clients, how to retain clients. So on an independent route, you're very like a business owner. So it's very important if you're joining a company, you're like, are you guys more independent? Or are you more captive? If you're independent, just know that you are signing up to be a business owner. You have to do all the aspects of the business. You have to do the calling, the retaining. It's a lot of work. And that's what I originally signed up with under my MLM structure that I didn't even know I was getting into. I thought I was just selling life insurance because they'll sell it to you like that just to get you on their team. But then you find out, man, I have to figure out the business side of things. I have to figure out how to keep my clients, and it's really stressful compared to the other option out there, which is like the captive model that's out there. There's companies like, if you look at like Colonial Penn, for example, nothing to say bad about Colonial Penn, but they're captive. You can only sell their product and you can only work with Colonial Penn and sell their one specific products. Going back to the independent side, you are also going to be more of like a broker. Okay, this is really important because you can actually shop around, work with like 20 different companies. You can work with Transamerica, you can work with Mutual Omaha, you can work with Prosperity when they're in business, you can work with Aetna, you can work with all these different insurance providers, and you're basically like the middleman. You're going to shop the market as an independent agent, and you're going to find the client the best rate and hopefully the most affordable rate as well as a final expense agent. If you're independent, you're going to do all the shopping. You're like the Expedia of life insurance. Compared to the captive, you're going to work with one company, like I mentioned earlier, and you're only going to be able to sell their product. So even though the downside is it might not be the best product, if you could shop the market, the problem is if you're captive, you can only sell that product because it has a big brand name and it might not be best for the client as well. So when you're taking the captive approach, just know that you might not be putting people in the best positions, and it's something to be mindful of. Now, when you've picked your independent model, or you want to go independent, or you want to go captive, now it's time to pick the type of model that you're also looking for, the compensation model, okay? This is really important when you're becoming an agent because you can either go the independent route, which is traditionally like the MLM model, which is the multi-level marketing model where they're going to teach you to sell your friends and neighbors. They're going to teach you to, recruit your friends and your family. You're going to recruit. And a lot of those MLM models are just built off of recruiting. So if you jump into a company, ask them how their model is structured. Is it more like an MLM model, or is it more like an employee model? Okay. So under the MLM model, if you want to build your business, you're probably independent. You're probably going to build your business. You're probably going to own the book of business. You're probably going to be able to get renewals under the independent MLM model. You're going to be able to get typically like the highest compensation, but they don't talk about the downsides that you have to own the book, you have to own the chargebacks, you have to eat all the lead costs, you have to pay for all the phone systems, you have to pay for all the costs. So there's a lot of downsides as well in that MLM model compared to what's called like the employee model. There's specific companies out there where they'll give you all the leads. For example, at Legacy Family Life, we give people free leads. We give them a base salary. They don't have to pay for their chargebacks. And there's companies out there that will do the same model. So you can just come in. You don't have to worry about generating your leads. You don't have to worry about going out there and, figuring out, how to pay a chargeback. They will give you everything that you need inside the employee model. The only thing that's probably the downside is that it's not geared for people who want to be business owners. So if you're a business owner and you're an entrepreneur, you're probably going to go after the MLM independent model. And if you want to be more of like an entrepreneur who can plug into a system, who can have all the resources, who doesn't have to worry about, who am I going to call, where am I getting my leads, then the employee model is probably going to be better for you in general as a life insurance agent. Now you got to pick step 5, how to sell your products. Okay, so let's say you got started, you picked your model. Now you're probably going to be tasked with, how am I going to sell this product? Okay, you're going to have leads, you're probably going to have a phone system. The big thing is, are you going to be doing it in person or are you going to be it over the phone? The in-person model, I believe in 2024 is probably outdated. You don't have to do it. The in-person model is definitely great for building relationships. It's going to be a lot of taxing on your car, a lot of uphill battles with your, cars, changing tires, driving in really unsafe areas, working in the city, working with people that you don't really, maybe not trust yet. So just know that the in-home model is definitely a little bit more dangerous, but it is a great model if you want to build relationships and sit down at the dinner table to sell life insurance. Compared to the over-the-phone model, this is what I personally have been doing since day one as a life insurance agent, selling over $500,000 a premium my first year, and that was calling people in my comfort of my living room or my home, buying leads, calling them, and then selling them over the one-call close. This is definitely a harder sell. You have to be a lot more skilled over the phone. You have to build a lot more trust, and you have to, be able to work hard despite the distraction that might come from in-home. The in-home sales is going to be a lot easier. They're going to be a lot more strenuous on the car, but the in-person is definitely a lot easier in regards to convenience. You can make more dials. You can talk to more people. You can work longer hours when you're not commuting. So pick the style of sale that you want to run after. Now, the step 6 that is crucial, I think the most important foundation being a life insurance agent, is picking your leader. Your leader is everything in this business. The person that trains you, the person that commits to you, the person that's going to teach you how to underwrite, the person that's going to teach you how to close sales, the person that's going to listen to your sales calls, the person that's going to help you when you're stuck on an application, the person that's going to help you fix your intro or help you fix your closing objections. This person is going to be your right-hand man, and the company that you need to work with is the person that has done exactly what you need to do. If you're joining a company and you see that the person that's training you does not sell, does not know what they're talking about, does not know how to do what they're trying to teach you to do, then you need to run. That is your warning sign. The most important thing in your success as a new agent is going to be your leader. How do they lead you? How do they hold you accountable? And can they help be there for you? Unfortunately, going back to the models and a lot of those independent MLM models, they have to recruit so many people, and it's kind of like a revolving door. So many people come in, so many leave out, and they're recruiting 50, 60 people every month. So you're just going to be a number. You're just going to be a butt in the seat, and you're probably not going to get that connection that you need, the help that you need. And if you feel like that's it from day one, you need to run, because it's going to be, unless you're an absolute stud and you know how to just come in and sell. But if you're looking for, care, love, like actual hand-holding, like process for your leader, you probably want to work with a smaller company, and ultimately you want to make sure in the interview process that's what they're promising for you. Not like, oh yeah, come in, we're going to be there for you, there's these group trainings. No, you need a leader that's going to hold your hand and help you, and that is the highest likelihood of success when you're jumping into the final expense industry. It's a hard product to sell, but if you have a great leader who's going to hold you accountable, you will do very, very well.